Love is not just an emotion, it is a long journey filled with challenges, learning, and growth. But do we truly understand love, or are we just vaguely experiencing its ups and downs? In love, not everyone is lucky enough to find an ideal man right from the start. The reality is that many women have faced men who do not bring happiness but instead cause them pain and make them lose faith in love. So how can you recognize these warning signs early on? How can you avoid falling into the cycle of unhealthy relationships? The answer lies in understanding the types of men you should stay away from before it's too late. Welcome to the channel Sophia's Knowledge, and my name is Sophia. This is where we explore real-life stories, profound lessons, and valuable experiences about love. Today, in this video, Sophia will share with you 6 types of men you should absolutely avoid in love. Let's dive right in. If you've ever had doubts about love, don't skip this video. For the best experience, find a quiet place, put on your headphones, and fully immerse yourself in what I'm about to share. Relax, and let everything flow naturally. Let's uncover the secrets to living a more fulfilling love life together. Let's get started. Number 1. The self-centered man. Don't let love turn into a one-sided sacrifice. In love, everyone desires to find someone who truly loves and cherishes them. However, one type of man you should avoid from the very beginning is the one who only cares about himself. He may attract you with his charming appearance and sweet words, but once in a relationship, you will slowly realize that you are merely serving his oversized ego. If you ever feel like you are always the one sacrificing, enduring, and receiving nothing in return, you may be in love with a selfish man. Let's explore the signs of this type of man and why you should stay away from him as soon as possible. Always puts himself first, disregarding your feelings. A selfish man always believes he is the center of the world. He never cares about how you feel, whether you're happy or sad, whether you need him or not. When you're upset, instead of comforting and listening, he redirects the conversation back to himself and his struggles. For example, you tell him about your exhausting day at work, but instead of encouraging you, he says, "I'm tired too. You have no idea how much pressure I'm under." The conversation immediately becomes about him, and your feelings are completely overlooked. Over time, you will feel unimportant. Everything revolves around him, while you become just a shadow in this relationship. Wants to receive but never gives. In a balanced relationship, both partners should know how to give and receive. But with a selfish man, he only knows how to take. You may sacrifice everything, your time, emotions, even money, but in return, he never does the same for you. Have you ever been in this situation? When he needs your help, you are always there, but when you need a little care, he always has an excuse to refuse. When you are sick, you get a brief text message, but when he is sick, you have to take care of him in every way possible. This is not love. This is emotional exploitation. Never admits his mistakes, always blames others. A selfish man never takes responsibility for his wrongdoings. No matter what he does to hurt you, he will always find a way to blame you or the circumstances. For example, if he forgets your anniversary, instead of apologizing, he says, "I've been so busy with work. Can't you be more understanding?" If you argue, he will always say that it's your fault for making him angry instead of reflecting on himself. This type of man will never take accountability, and if you stay with him long term, you will always be the one compromising and enduring. Likes to control but never respects you. A selfish man tends to control his partner but has no respect for her feelings and thoughts. He may force you to follow his wishes, where to go, whom to meet, what to wear, even what to eat. But when you express your opinions or desires, he ignores them or gets annoyed. For example, when dining out, he always chooses his favorite restaurant, regardless of whether you like the food or not. When watching a movie, he picks what he wants to see without asking your preference. Gradually, you will feel like you are losing yourself, merely living under his control. indifferent to your pain. One of the most terrifying types of men is the one who can watch you cry and suffer but remain indifferent. He won't hold you, won't comfort you, because in his eyes, your emotions don't matter. When you are struggling, instead of supporting you, he says things like, "That's not a big deal. You're always too sensitive. I have more important things to worry about." Such a man will never make a good husband because when you need him the most, he will never be there. Always has an excuse to avoid spending time with you. A man who truly loves you will always want to spend time with you. But if he constantly comes up with excuses to avoid seeing you, it could be a sign that he is prioritizing someone else. "I'm busy with work. I have to travel for business. I have urgent matters with my friends." No one is so busy that they can't spare a little time for their partner, unless they no longer see you as a priority. Has too many ambiguous relationships. An unfaithful man always maintains unclear relationships with multiple women. He may claim they are just friends, but if you sense something is off, you are probably right. He frequently texts other women but never lets you see the messages. He often hangs out with a close female friend but never invites you along. He has affectionate conversations with others but denies it when you ask. A man who respects you will never make you doubt his loyalty. Why you should leave an unfaithful man? You will always live in anxiety and pain. Loving an unfaithful man means constantly worrying, doubting, and hurting. You will keep asking yourself, is he telling the truth? Is he cheating on me? Should I forgive him? Love is supposed to bring happiness. But if you always feel insecure, it is not real love. Why you should leave a selfish man as soon as possible. A relationship with a selfish man will never bring you happiness. You will always feel lonely, hurt, and gradually lose faith in love. You will always sacrifice without receiving anything in return. You will always take the blame for his mistakes. You will always live under his control without a voice. You will never receive genuine care and affection. Love is not about submission or endurance, it is about understanding and sharing. If you are with a man who only cares about himself, think carefully, do you really want to spend your life with someone like that? Ultimately, a selfish man does not deserve your love. A healthy relationship requires balance between both partners. If you recognize these signs in the man beside you, don't hesitate to walk away. Remember, you deserve to be loved, cherished, and happy. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and discuss more. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future content. Thank you so much. Let's continue together. Number 2. The Unfaithful Man. Signs to recognize and reasons you should walk away. Love is about commitment, trust, and mutual respect. But in reality, not every man stays faithful in a relationship. One of the biggest mistakes a woman can make is placing her trust in a man who will never truly belong to her. If you've ever found yourself doubting, checking his phone, worrying when he goes out, or feeling hurt by lies, then you might be in love with an unfaithful man. So how do you recognize this type of man? And why should you stay away from him as soon as possible? Let's find out together. Signs of an unfaithful man. He keeps too many secrets on his phone and social media. A faithful man has nothing to hide from his partner. But if he is always secretive, locking his phone, deleting messages, or even getting angry when you touch his phone, that's a major red flag. He always places his phone face down when sitting with you. He is constantly online but doesn't reply to your messages. He has multiple social media accounts that you don't even know about. A faithful person has nothing to conceal, but a cheater always has plenty of secrets. He frequently makes excuses to avoid spending time with you. When a man starts to change, he will no longer spend as much time with you as he used to. Instead, he will constantly come up with reasonable yet suspicious excuses. I have a late meeting, so I can't call you. I suddenly have to go on a business trip. My phone was broken, so I didn't get your messages. The truth is, no one is too busy to spare a little time for the person they love, unless they are giving that time to someone else. His behavior changes unexpectedly. An unfaithful man may change in two ways: he becomes cold, distant, and no longer cares about you. He stops expressing love or checking in on you like before. Or, he suddenly becomes overly sweet, buying gifts and acting romantic for no apparent reason. This could be a sign of guilt, as he tries to cover up his infidelity. Sudden changes in behavior are always a cause for concern. He has too many close female friends with unusual behavior. Having female friends isn't a bad thing, but if he has ambiguous relationships, frequently messages late at night, or meets privately without telling you, that's a warning sign. If you ask about a certain woman and he reacts defensively, saying, "You're being jealous for no reason. She's just a friend, stop overthinking," then it might be a sign that he is hiding something from you. Why should you avoid an unfaithful man? You will always live in worry and heartbreak. Being with an unfaithful man means you will never feel secure. You will constantly wonder where he is, what he's doing, and whether he is lying to you. Love should bring happiness and peace, not sleepless nights filled with doubt and heartbreak when you discover his lies. You will lose trust in love. If you stay with a cheater for too long, you will slowly lose faith in love and even in yourself. You may start thinking, maybe I'm not good enough, that's why he cheated, but the truth is, the problem isn't you. It's him. A man who has a habit of cheating will never change, no matter how much you love him. Once a cheater, always untrustworthy. The reality is that unfaithful men rarely cheat just once. If he has betrayed you before, chances are he will do it again when given the opportunity. Many women make the mistake of thinking, it was just a one-time mistake, he will change, but in reality, cheaters tend to repeat their actions over and over. Are you willing to sacrifice your freedom and happiness to live in constant worry and suspicion? You deserve a love that is real and sincere. Most importantly, you should leave an unfaithful man because you deserve a better love. A man who truly loves you will never put you in a position where you have to doubt or suffer. He will make you feel safe, happy, and cherished. Don't waste your time and youth on someone who doesn't value love. Be strong, walk away, and find someone who truly deserves you. In the end, an unfaithful man doesn't just hurt you, he destroys your belief in love. If you notice these signs in your relationship, be strong enough to rethink it. A man who truly loves you will never make you question his loyalty. A man worth loving is someone who values and respects you, not someone who treats you as an option. Love yourself first, and don't let anyone repeatedly hurt you. If he can't stay faithful, let him go. Because out there, someone much better is waiting for you. If you're still watching this video, don't hesitate to comment continue below. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments, I'd love to hear your opinions. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so Sophia can continue creating meaningful content for you. Let's continue together. Number 3. The abusive and violent man. The one who destroys your love and life. When in love, everyone hopes to find someone who can protect, love, and cherish them. However, not every relationship is filled with sweetness. Some men not only fail to bring happiness but also turn love into a painful nightmare. One of the most toxic types of men you should stay away from is the abusive and violent man. He not only harms you physically but also destroys your spirit and self-worth. If you are in a relationship showing signs of violence, consider leaving before it's too late. Signs of an abusive and violent man. Not everyone reveals their violent nature from the beginning. Most abusive men hide it well and only show it gradually over time. Here are some warning signs you need to recognize early. Easily loses control and gets angry for no reason. A violent man often cannot control his anger. He may become enraged over trivial things, such as, you reply to his messages late. You talk to someone of the opposite sex. You do something he disapproves of. His anger doesn't just stop at words, it can escalate into actions like throwing objects, breaking things, or even threatening you. Excessive control and domination. An abusive man doesn't just use physical violence but also controls you mentally. He will want to dominate every aspect of your life, including dictating what you wear, checking your phone, messages, and social media, preventing you from meeting friends and family. This is a sign of a toxic relationship that you must recognize early. Always blames you and justifies his violence. After every outburst, he will find ways to justify his actions. You will often hear things like, "I only act this way because I love you too much. I didn't mean to, I just lost control. It's your fault for making me angry, I didn't want to do that." This is how he makes you feel guilty, while in reality, he is the one with the problem. Uses physical violence to threaten and punish you. This is the most serious sign that you must never ignore. If he has ever slapped, punched, choked, pushed, or threatened to hit you, thrown objects at you or broken things to intimidate you, made you feel scared every time he gets angry, you need to understand that violence is never just a one-time impulse, it can become a habit. If you forgive him the first time, the next time will likely be worse. Why should you leave an abusive man? Violence will never stop. Many women believe their man will change if they love him more and are more patient. But the reality is, once a man is violent, he will not stop. The first time may be a slap. The second time, a punch. The third time could lead to even more severe injuries. There is no justification for violence. If he has hit you once, there will certainly be a next time. You will gradually lose your self-worth. An abusive man doesn't just harm you physically, he also destroys your spirit. He will make you believe, "I'm not good enough. I deserve this treatment. No one else will love me except him." Over time, you will lose yourself, become fearful, withdraw from others, and tolerate things you should never accept. The pain will only grow and be harder to heal. Physical wounds may heal over time, but emotional scars can last a lifetime. A violent relationship can lead to long-term depression and anxiety, loss of self-confidence and trust in love, isolation from the world due to fear. You deserve love, not suffering and pain. When should you leave? If you notice these signs in your partner, be strong and leave immediately. There is no reason to hold on to a violent man because he will not change. You cannot endure this forever. Your life is worth more than a toxic relationship. Seek help from family, friends, or women's support organizations if you find it difficult to leave. Never trade your safety for love. Final thoughts. An abusive man doesn't just harm you physically, he also destroys your soul and self-esteem. A relationship without respect and safety is not love but an emotional prison. You cannot change a violent man, but you can choose to protect yourself. Remember, you deserve to be loved, cherished, and to live a peaceful life. If you are in an abusive relationship, be brave and walk away. Out there, someone truly worthy of your love is waiting for you. Number 4. The Irresponsible Man. A relationship that will never last. In love, responsibility is not just a good quality but also a crucial factor in maintaining a long-term relationship. A responsible man is someone who will always be ready to face difficulties, protect you, and build a future with you. On the other hand, an irresponsible man will only make you feel exhausted, insecure, and ultimately disappointed. If you are in love with a man who never takes responsibility for anything, think carefully about your future. Such a person will not only make you feel like you have to carry everything alone but also damage your spirit and self-worth. Signs of an irresponsible man. No plans for the future. An irresponsible man often has no clear idea about his future. He lives day by day, without caring about saving money, career development, or setting any specific goals. He may jump from one job to another without concern. He never talks about long-term plans like buying a house, starting a family, or stabilizing his career. He always finds excuses to delay important decisions. If a man has no direction for himself, how can he build a stable future with you? Avoids responsibility in the relationship. When problems arise, an irresponsible man will always try to avoid them or blame others. He never admits his mistakes or faces difficulties with you. When you need support, he always says, "That's not my problem." When you face financial trouble, he is unwilling to help. When conflicts occur, he blames the situation, you, or anyone but himself. An irresponsible man will never stand up to protect you or your relationship. Enjoys benefits but refuses to contribute. An irresponsible man often wants to enjoy the benefits of a relationship without making any contributions. He may spend recklessly on unnecessary things but is unwilling to share financial responsibilities. He never thinks about helping with daily tasks, from household chores to taking care of children. When you suggest saving for the future together, he makes excuses or ignores it. If someone only knows how to take without ever giving, you will always be the one carrying the burden. Why should you stay away from an irresponsible man? The relationship will never be fair. A healthy love requires balance between both partners. But if you always have to take on all the responsibilities, the relationship will become unbalanced and unsustainable. You will feel more like a mother or caretaker rather than a lover. You will lose trust in him because he never faces challenges with you. You will always feel used and unappreciated. Without fairness, love will eventually fall apart. You will always live in anxiety and insecurity. Being with an irresponsible man means you can never feel secure. If something happens, you know you'll have to handle it alone because he will never step up. You can't trust his promises because they are always forgotten or broken. You can't make long-term plans because he never takes the future seriously. Love should bring peace and happiness, not constant worry and insecurity. You deserve to be loved by a responsible man. Every woman deserves to be loved, cherished, and to share responsibilities. A man who truly loves you will not let you endure everything alone. He will plan a future with you. He will be willing to face difficulties to protect your relationship. He will give you a sense of security instead of making you worry every day. Remember, you don't have to accept an irresponsible man just for love. True love always comes with companionship and sharing. When should you leave an irresponsible man? If you recognize these signs in your partner, ask yourself, do I want to spend my life with someone who never takes responsibility? Am I happy carrying everything alone? Can he change, or will he always be like this? If the answer is no, be strong and walk away. A relationship without companionship and sharing will only bring you exhaustion and sorrow. Final thoughts. An irresponsible man will not only make you lose faith in the relationship but also diminish your own value in love. Love yourself enough not to accept an unfair relationship. Love is not about endurance. Choose a man who is responsible, who loves and values you. Because out there are still many people willing to build a bright and happy future with you. Number 5. The overly controlling man. The one who steals your freedom and happiness. When in love, a little attention and mild jealousy can make a relationship more exciting. But what happens when that attention turns into control? What happens when you feel like you no longer have the freedom to live as you wish, cannot do what you want, and must always try to please the man beside you just to avoid unnecessary arguments? An overly controlling man not only takes away your freedom but also gradually erodes your self-esteem and destroys your relationship. If you feel like a puppet in love, being controlled from the way you dress, walk, to your friendships, it's time to seriously reconsider and evaluate your relationship. Signs of an overly controlling man. Always wants to know where you are, what you're doing, and with whom. A controlling man often does not trust you. He always wants to know where you are and who you are with. Your schedule for the day. Every little detail about the people you meet and work with. At first, you may think he is just being caring. But when this behavior becomes constant and increasingly detailed, you will start to feel exhausted and suffocated. Sets irrational rules and forces you to follow them. A controlling man often demands that you adhere to the rules he sets. You are not allowed to meet certain friends. You cannot go out alone at night. You must respond to his messages immediately, no matter what you are doing. He does not respect your freedom but always wants you to live the way he deems right. Excessive jealousy and constant suspicion. Jealousy is a natural part of love, but when it crosses the line, it becomes control. A controlling man often doubts your every action. Gets jealous even when you simply talk to colleagues or friends of the opposite sex. Checks your phone, emails, and social media to find non-existent evidence. Excessive jealousy not only puts pressure on you but also destroys the trust in the relationship. Undermines your confidence and makes you feel dependent on him. A controlling man often uses words to make you lose confidence. You shouldn't do that, let me decide. Your friends are all bad people, I only want the best for you. You don't know anything about life, just listen to me. He makes you believe that you cannot make decisions on your own, that you are incapable of living independently, and gradually, you will start to feel that you truly need him to survive. Overreacts when you try to reclaim your freedom. If you ask to meet friends, want personal space, or disagree with his rules, he will get angry. He may say things like, "Are you hiding something from me? Why do you need to go out with your friends without me? You don't care about my feelings anymore?" These reactions are not out of love but signs of his fear of losing control. Why should you stay away from an overly controlling man? Loss of freedom and self-respect. When living with someone who always controls you, you will gradually lose your personal freedom. You cannot meet the people you care about. You cannot wear what you like. You always have to think carefully before doing anything, just to avoid making him angry. Over time, you will no longer be yourself but become the version he wants you to be. This not only exhausts you but also makes you lose your self-esteem. Love becomes a prison, no longer a joy. A healthy relationship brings happiness, peace, and a sense of being loved. But if you always live under control, love will become an emotional prison. You will feel suffocated, stressed, and lose the joy of being with him. A controlling person is difficult to change. Many women think that love can change a man. But in reality, a controlling person is very difficult to change. This is not just a habit issue but a matter of mindset and perception of love. If he is not willing to reflect on his behavior, this relationship will always be a dead end. When should you leave? If you recognize these signs, take a serious look at your relationship. You cannot change a controlling person if they do not acknowledge their mistakes and want to change. If he does not accept your freedom and right to make decisions, be strong and walk away. A person who truly loves you will not want you to feel suffocated or lose your freedom. True love is about companionship, not control. Final thoughts. An overly controlling man not only takes away your freedom but also destroys your happiness and self-esteem. A healthy relationship requires trust, respect, and encouragement, not imposition. Remember that you deserve a relationship where you feel free, loved, and able to be yourself. If the man beside you does not provide that, do not hesitate to leave. Out there are still people who are ready to love and respect you sincerely. Number 6. The dishonest and untrustworthy man. Signs to recognize and reasons to stay away. Trust is the foundation of a strong and lasting relationship. When in love, everyone wants their partner to be honest, straightforward, and reliable. But what happens when you fall for a man who constantly hides the truth, changes his words, and never keeps his promises? A relationship like this will not only exhaust you but also break the trust and peace between both of you. A dishonest and untrustworthy man brings more trouble than you might think. At first, he may make you believe in him, but over time, you'll realize that his words never align with his actions. This will make you doubt everything, leading to emotional pain and loss in love. Signs of an untrustworthy man: inconsistent words and lack of logic. A dishonest man finds it difficult to keep his words consistent. He may say one thing today but contradict it tomorrow. When questioned, he often tries to justify himself or appears confused. He promises to call you at night but doesn't follow through and later makes excuses. He talks about future plans with you but delays them when the time comes. He tells unclear stories, making you feel like something is off. Frequently cancels plans and breaks promises. A man who lies often fails to keep his promises. He may plan a date with you, only to cancel at the last minute without a convincing reason. His promises become meaningless because they are never fulfilled. He promises to accompany you to an important event but never shows up. He says he will help you with something, then forgets or claims to be too busy. His words become unreliable, and you start to expect disappointment. Hides the truth and makes up stories. A dishonest man constantly conceals the truth or fabricates stories to make you believe what he wants. He may hide relationships with people you don't know. Lie about his job, income, or family background. Make up excuses to justify his questionable actions. Avoids direct questions. An untrustworthy man often struggles to answer direct questions. When you ask him something straightforward, he will try to dodge the question, change the subject, or give vague answers. When you ask what he did yesterday, he gives a brief response and quickly shifts the topic. When you ask where he is, he vaguely says busy or with friends but never specifies. This avoidance leaves you feeling uneasy and uncertain about him. Why should you leave a dishonest man? Trust is destroyed, and the relationship becomes toxic. Loving a man who constantly lies will gradually erode your trust in him. Each time you catch him in a lie, you will feel more disappointed and hurt. You have to verify everything he says, which becomes exhausting. You never feel at ease, always living in doubt and suspicion. A healthy relationship cannot be built when trust is repeatedly broken. A relationship without honesty is just a cycle of suspicion and heartbreak. Loss of peace in your life. A dishonest man will drag you into unnecessary conflicts and stress. You will constantly face unanswered questions. Arguments about his honesty. Feelings of betrayal and emotional pain. Love should bring happiness and peace, not sleepless nights filled with doubt and sorrow. A dishonest person rarely changes. Many women believe that love can change a man. But the truth is, if he is used to lying and avoiding responsibility, he is unlikely to change. He may promise to be different, but these promises rarely translate into action. He might try to appear honest for a short time but eventually return to his old habits. You shouldn't waste your youth waiting for someone who isn't willing to change for you. You deserve someone more trustworthy. A healthy relationship must be built on trust and honesty. You deserve to love someone who always tells the truth and is straightforward with you. Keeps his promises and ensures his actions align with his words. Provides a sense of security and peace in love. Remember, love should not be about enduring or making unnecessary sacrifices. You deserve to be loved by someone who is sincere, trustworthy, and values you. When should you walk away? If you recognize these signs, ask yourself, can I continue living in doubt? Does he truly love me if he can't be honest? Can I find someone more reliable? If your answer is no, then it's time to move on. A relationship without honesty will only bring you more pain and exhaustion. Ultimately, a dishonest man will not only break your trust but also ruin the relationship. If you notice that he constantly lies, breaks promises, and lacks accountability, don't hesitate to walk away. Love should be a place where you feel cherished, respected, and secure. Choose someone who is honest and trustworthy, because out there, many people are far more deserving of your love. Conclusion. When entering a relationship, the most important thing is not just emotions but also the ability to recognize what makes a healthy and lasting love. In the journey of finding happiness, we inevitably encounter men who are not suitable, selfish men, unfaithful men, controlling men, violent men, or dishonest men. But these experiences help you realize your self-worth and teach you how to love yourself more. Remember, a valuable love always comes with respect, understanding, and sincerity from both sides. If you feel like you are enduring too much, constantly sacrificing without receiving anything in return, or always living in fear and doubt, then it's time to stop and reassess the relationship. You deserve someone who loves you for who you truly are, someone you can trust and build a future with. And most importantly, never let anyone take away your self-respect or diminish your worth. When you value yourself, you will know how to choose a love that is real, a partner who is truly suitable, and a relationship that is worthy of what you bring. So, that's the end of today's video. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end. I hope you found valuable lessons in this and that these insights will help you on your journey of love. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting content in the future. I truly appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next videos. Wishing you love and happiness always.